Hello, everyone. Welcome to MGF 1106 for the first half of summer A, as SCF calls it. This will be a 6-week online course for topics in mathematics. I will be your instructor, Robert Schaller. Um, First things first, let's get the big elephant out of the room. Yes, this is a weird time in 2020 where I hope everyone is being very safe, very healthy, and practicing their social distancing. We've done this before in history. Things like the plague, which is where the word quarantine came from. We as a society know how to handle this. So, I hope everyone is doing okay. And still, I commend you guys for taking this course online during, such a weird time. Nowadays, online is your only option when it comes to college and university classes, and even just public schools and things like that. So um, I just want to say right off the bat, please, stick with this course if you really need this course to graduate, or if you feel like you have doubts about maybe, oh, I was going to take this course, but now things are a little over my head. There's no shame in backing out right now. So I just wanted to take a moment and say right off the bat, this course is going to be the same it was regardless of what's happening in the world. It's still going to operate like an online course because it always was designed and always was offered as an online summer A course. So that hasn't changed. So, it's not like this is like supposed to be a face-to-face course that got switched to online. This is an online course, and I'm going to run it the same way I was going to normally run it, with a little bit of leniency here and there for due dates and things like that. So if you guys do have a problem throughout the course, don't be afraid to ask. Especially if it's like, hey, I need an extra 24-hour extension on this due date for this assignment. Don't be afraid to ask. Um, I'm going to be as lenient as possible, but the course still needs to be finished by the time the course needs to be finished, which I believe grades are due on June 22nd or something like that. The course officially ends on June 19th, so it moves very quickly. So keep that in mind. All right, that aside, out of the way, let's dig into the bones of the course and what needs to happen for you to pass. Right, that's what we're all trying to do. We're trying to learn the material and get through the course. So in this orientation video, I want to try and keep it pretty short, maybe like 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, just to make sure I hit all the spots that I want to hit as far as what you need to do to be successful in this course. What are your responsibilities as a student in this course? So right off the bat, the first thing you need, obviously, is access to SCF, My SCF. And when you log into My SCF, you're going to have that link to Canvas. And nowadays, you guys probably have the link on your phone, right? You guys probably have the Canvas app on your phone. But try not to do everything on your phone. Obviously, it's much easier if you do the homework on a laptop or a computer or something like that. Trying to do that on your phone is really, really cumbersome on such a small screen. And not a lot of phones, sometimes the software doesn't work well with the app on your phone for your internet browser. So it's usually better to go to an actual PC and do that. I have two sections. You're in either one of these two sections that you see on the screen here. So either you see, CRN 31107 or 31133, whichever one's on your schedule, doesn't matter. They're both exactly the same course. They're running side by side. So essentially what I've done is just basically merged the two into one. So I'm going to click on this one, but it's no different than the other one that would be clicked on. So right now it's kind of bare bones. There's not a whole lot that you're going to see on here. I've got the syllabus. I want to talk about that. So I'll go ahead and click on that and open that up. And I'm actually going to open the PDF version. It's just easier to browse through. So I want to hit the key points. I'm not going to read through this whole thing verbatim. That you can do at your leisure. The syllabus is just basically a contract between the instructor and the student that says, hey, I'm the instructor, and this is what I'm telling you you're responsible for. And you, as the student, by staying registered for the course, are saying, yes, I will do all those things, and if I don't do them, I deserve whatever grade I get. Um, so that's me, Robert Schaller. This is my office, but we're not technically allowed on campus over the summer. We're still doing the whole social distancing thing to try and keep everyone safe. So I may pop into my office once or twice randomly over the summer, but it's not for student office hours. Uh, More than likely, and even my phone number there obviously is on campus. I can still get my voicemails remotely, but I can't really, um, get to my phone on campus. Email's the best way. Obviously, email is the best way to get in touch with me. I gotta stop doing that. Email is the best way to get in touch with me. Just make sure there's a 1 in there. It's schaller1@scf.edu. Yes, I used to be a student at SCF, and I think I inadvertently stole my own email for future use. So, being a previous student and now coming back as a faculty member, I still have the little 1 in there. Or you can contact me through Canvas email. That's even easier. I'll show you how to do that when we get back to Canvas. I don't have office hours. I'm, literally in my house, in my office. So, just hit me up an email if you need to talk to me. Email's the best way. Sometimes it's hard to explain things mathematically over email. So I could type something up. I could type up a solution and send it to you. Or if I get enough emails on the same concept, I might just make a separate video with me in front of my whiteboard, kind of explaining things. So it all just kind of depends. But reach out to me, and if you really need to contact me, we could set up like a virtual conference over, uh, Zoom or Skype or Microsoft Teams or whatever you have access to. So again, real quick, nitty gritty. Don't want to go through this word for word. Main thing is this course is a Gordon Rule course. This course will get you credits, mathematical credits for your AA degree. So if you're looking to graduate and you need those Gordon Rule credits for your math courses, this will satisfy one of those. Another one that will satisfy is MGF 1107, and it's actually the same textbook. I say that, but I also have to let you know about the stipulation that we will be changing to a new edition of the textbook in the fall. So if you really want to take advantage of only buying this once, only buying the MyMathLab software once, it works for MGF 1106 and MGF 1107 at the same time. You don't have to buy the MathLab software twice. You can buy it once, and it works for both because they're both off the same textbook. But if you're only doing 1106 Summer A and then you're waiting for the fall to take 1107, even though it's technically the same textbook, the fall is a different version. So you have to repurchase the software, so it'll cost you another, $100 or whatever. So just keep that in mind. Just a heads up. If you've taken this course before, like say in the spring or last fall or even last summer, I think you can reuse the code. Don't quote me on that, but it's still linked to the current textbook, so I think you can reuse the current code that you have. But don't quote me on that. It may work. Give it a try. If it doesn't, then you might have to repurchase it. When I talk about the MyMathLab software, we'll talk about that, in a little bit when we get to it. But this is the code that you'll need. Don't worry, you don't have to write it down right now. You can, if you need to, just reference it. That's easier. If not, you can always go back to the syllabus. This syllabus will always be on the Canvas homepage, so you can always go back and reference it. This is the code you'll need to register for the MyMathLab course, and I'll show you how to do that, obviously, later in the video. You do need a scientific calculator. Please don't use your cell phone. I know I'm not technically, in your house with you, looking over your shoulder, saying, hey, you're using your cell phone. Stop doing that. Just get out of that bad habit, because your cell phone is also going to vibrate when you get a Facebook notification. And if you're in the middle of doing your math homework and your friend says, hey, I'm ordering a pizza, well, nowadays you're not really going to go hang out, right? Technically social distancing, but you never know. Someone says, hey, we're just gonna go to the park and meet up for 10 minutes and just say hi, and then we're we'll go about our business. Um, if you're in the middle of doing your homework and that happens, it totally removes you from doing math and pushes that aside. And that's not what a calculator does. A calculator is just a calculator, whereas your phone is literally a computer in your pocket that gives you access to the entire rest of the world. Obviously, you can't use your phone on an exam, so don't do it. Get a decent calculator. It just could be something cheap, something as long as it does plus, minus, divide, multiply, maybe a square root here or there. That's all you need, something cheap. So the important thing to remember is there are 2 exams. Make sure you know about these 2 exams. I hate when a student, well, I shouldn't say the word hate, but um, it's very, very disappointing when a student comes to me like 2 or 3 days after the midterm exam and emails me and says, "Oh my gosh, I had no idea there was a midterm." What do you mean you had no idea there was a midterm? You knew day one that there was a midterm. How did you forget there was a midterm? That's like the most important thing you would put on your schedule, I would think. That's like, oh, my wedding is on April 1st, and then April 3rd going, oh, that's right, I forgot to get married. That's like the most important day of your life. You should probably remember that. You should probably write that down. Not that I'm comparing my exam to getting married. Maybe that's a little overkill. But still, there are only 2 very important days, and that is the midterm and the final exam. And again, with the whole situation we're in 2020, um, I've decided to give you guys a little bit of time with the midterm and the final exam. So Thursday, June 4th is when I'm going to open up the midterm, and I'll give you until Friday. I was going to give you from noon to noon, but I figure I'll also give you till that midnight on Friday, just in case you guys, you work a full shift on Thursday and maybe you work a full shift on Friday. I don't think anyone works more than 36 hours straight. Not even doctors do that, and you're definitely not doctors because you're in college and doctors are done with college. So, I understand people work at lengths, especially if you're a nurse or, you're one of the people, working on the front lines, be it, helping out, even if you're just working in a grocery store or something like that, you might be working, 8 to 8, 2 days in a row. I feel for you. So again, reach out to me before things happen. Don't reach out to me 2 days after the midterm and say, "Oh, well, I was working for 4 days straight and couldn't take the midterm. Can I make it up?" There are no makeup exams. You need to be on top of this. This is your life, right? College is for adults. It's like a job, right? So you don't go to your employer and say, "Oh, sorry, I didn't show up for 4 days. I'll show up tomorrow." Your employer is going to look at you and go, "Dude, I fired you 3 days ago. You never showed up." Same thing here, right? If you come to me 3 days after the midterm and say, "Oh, sorry, I never took it. I'll take it today." I'm going to look at you and go, "No, you didn't take it 3 days ago, and it was due 3 days ago, period." So make sure you're responsible. Make sure you're on top of things. I have 5 different courses this summer, probably 180 or so students. If each one of those students tells me when they want to take their exam, it's chaos. That's not something I can do. I can't give each individual student their own individual test day. You have to take it the time I allow. And I allowed you plenty of time, over 24 hours to take what basically is less than an hour long exam. So find an hour during that time to take it. Same thing with the final exam. It's going to open on the 18th at noon and it'll be due the 19th at midnight. So you got Thursday at noon to Friday at midnight. Sit down for an hour. Write it down on your calendar right now. 1 hour, just sit down, take the exam. That's all you got to do. The way I designed the course with the points breakdowns, you can technically not pass the midterm exam. Not that you can outright fail it or not take it, but you could get, say like a 65% on the midterm, say like a 65% on the final, as long as you do all the homework it will get you to at least a passing grade. I think it's like a 71 point something. I forgot exactly the way it worked out to, but I wanted to make it work out. I think it was a seven. Actually, I take that back. I think it was a 70.1 something like that. I made it work out so that if you get a D on the midterm, a D on the final, but do everything and get the full 300 points on the My Math Lab, as long as you're doing all the homework by the due dates, you still pass the course. That's the way I wanted to design it, was so that as long as you're doing the weekly assignments and the assignments on time and you're staying on top of everything, you can pass the course. Now, provided I'm hoping people do better than get a 65 or a 64 or whatever on the midterm or final. But the course is out of a total 800 points, so you've got room to play. If you're a bad test taker, make sure you're doing the assignments on time. Enough said. If you're not doing the assignments on time, then oh boy, are you putting a lot of stress on yourself for that midterm and that final exam, because they're a big chunk of your grade. So here's the points breakdown. We don't do pluses or minuses at SCF, so if you're a transient student taking this course over the summer from a different university, I went to University of Florida, and they did plus and minus grades. We don't do that here. We just do solid A, B, C, D, F. I have heard rumors that we might be switching. Actually, I've heard rumors that all of Florida is trying to uniform and might be going to a uniform system of plus and minus, but for the summer, not happening. Late work, I do a 25% reduction for late work on my math lab. So, don't email me and say, hey, can you reopen this assignment? It's already open. It's been open. It's been open since day one. I opened the entire course on day one, and you're allowed to work ahead, but there are due dates as the weeks go by. So if you fall behind, you run the risk of hitting this 25% reduction in points, which means that, say you skip an entire section of homework to do, and then, the 2 or 3 days after that due date hits, you decide to go back and work on it, the best you can get is 75%. Even if you get a perfect 100% on that assignment, technically you only get 75% on it because the reduction. And it says below to see the weekly assignment schedule. So we'll get to that. It's the last page on this syllabus. Attendance, watch this video, take the syllabus quiz. That's your attendance. Basically, that tells me that you're an actual human being and you're part of the course. Other than that, just make sure you're working throughout the course. If you don't complete at least one assignment each week, I'm technically allowed to remove you from the course. Not that I'll do that. I'll send you an email and say, hey, are you still working? Are you still with us? I see you registered, but you're not doing anything. Should I be concerned? Is something happening? No-show policy, electronics policy. The only thing I really care about for electronics is just make sure you got reliable internet. That's the most important thing. The rest of this you can kind of read on your own. Misconduct, I mean, we're not even in the classroom together, so I see no misconduct happening. Tech support, this might be a good number to make sure is on the syllabus somewhere. My math lab is what's called a Pearson product. Pearson is the publisher of the textbook, so they run all the stuff in terms of the online homework software. If you have an issue, there's you can just go on the website and do their technical support help there, but then it filters you through a email system and you don't hear back for 24 hours. If you want to call them, you can call this number. It'll be a robot at first, of course, but eventually you'll get to a human that could help you out. So that just might be a good number to have. The rest of this stuff, recording devices, obviously classroom, so we don't have to deal with that. Email, just make sure you're communicating with me through your SCF email or on Canvas. I can't tell you how many times I get emails, even 5 weeks into the course, someone sends me an email from superbeachgoer91@gmail.com. And they say, hey, Mr. Schaller, when was the final exam again? No response. You will literally never get a response from me, not from that email. And In fact, I am not allowed to respond to that email. So please use your student email. It's very important because I've had students email me several times from their incorrect email address, their personal email address, and then call my department chair and say, my instructor's not responding to my emails. And then I show my department chair the emails I got, and my department chair tells that student, sorry, nothing I can do for you. You did not use your student email. He cannot respond to those. So make sure you're being responsible and communicating with me in the proper way. Also, please use actual English sentences. Um, it's very weird when a student emails me and says, LOL, bro, can't do number 7, help me out. I don't know what to say to that. Like, first of all, who are you? What course are you in? What are you working on? What have you tried? What's your name? Like, it's not a text message, it's an email. Please talk to me like a professor so that I can talk to you like a student. That's the relationship we have. Otherwise, I might just respond back with what question mark. I mean, at that point I'm lost. Again, I have probably over 180, 200. Last semester in the spring, I had over 260 students. So if you respond to me in just an incomplete sentence, I got nothing for you. There's nothing I can do for you. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're asking, and help me help you. That's all I'm saying. The withdrawal date, I'll let you know when the withdrawal date gets closer, but essentially that just means after that withdrawal deadline, just make sure that you're ready to finish the course. If you think you're not going to make it to the end of the course and pass that final, then you probably want to withdraw and get the W on your transcript, which does not affect your GPA, versus after the withdrawal deadline, I have to give you a grade, whether it's an A or an F. I have to give you a letter grade at that point. Faculty withdrawal, that just means, again, if you're not doing anything and you don't take the midterm, I can withdraw you. Plagiarism, this is a big word. Cheating. Most people in math say, oh, you cheated on your math test. Cheating is plagiarism, period. If you look at someone else's math test or use their math work and claim it as your own without their permission, or even with their permission, but you don't cite them, if your friend says, yeah, use my answers, and you use their answers, and then I look at your sheet and I go, wait, that's their answers. Even if you come to me and say, yeah, he said I could use them, or she said I could use their answers, well, you didn't cite it. You plagiarized. You stole someone else's work and didn't give them credit for it. We call it cheating in math. It's literally plagiarism. You're a thief and a liar. Don't do it. If you're going to try and cheat your way through this course by just looking up solutions online, trust me, I already know. I have been a college student way longer than you have. I have seen every trick. I've taught for, I think I'm on about 6 years. If you include grad school, I taught courses in grad school, maybe even more than, maybe 6.5 years now. I've been a teacher on top of being a student for 6 years. I've seen and tried everything you've tried, and it doesn't work. It's easy to see who stole what from who. And it's easy to see that you just went to Google, because I can also go to Google and type it in and go, oh, that's the solution that they're all using. And it's wrong. Don't trust the internet. I have seen so many wrong solutions on the internet. Don't trust the internet. The DRC, this is good to know. If you do have some sort of need, we call it the Disability Resource Center, but it could just be something as easy as, oh, I need a laptop. Can you help me out? I don't have access to a laptop. The DRC can help you out. I need a larger screen because I have a vision problem. I myself wear glasses. I don't even know where they are. They're somewhere on my desk. I myself wear glasses. Very rarely do I wear them unless I'm in the classroom looking at faces far away. But they could provide you with a screen reader or a laptop with a larger screen. If you need extended testing time, it has to go through the DRC. If you email me and say, oh, hey, I'm a DRC student, so technically I had twice as much time. The DRC has to tell me that. If you tell it to me, great. but I don't have to honor that. The DRC has to send me an official email that says this student has extended time. They get time and a half for every test. Then I have to say, okay, the DRC told me you get extended time, so you get extended time. So, take advantage of that. I've had students in the past with like math anxiety, and even simple little things like getting a little bit extra time or a quiet testing environment has helped them a ton. Non-discrimination, I've never had a problem with this. I'm, typically very easygoing and very willing to help. I really try not to have any biases whatsoever. So if there's ever an issue, just let me know and we'll work it out. Same thing with religious observances. If you have a holiday and you're not allowed to be on the computer, email me ahead of time and say, hey, Mr. Schaller, I have a religious holiday and I'm technically not allowed to do anything over the weekend. Can you extend my homework for, 24 or 48 hours? And yeah, I have to respect that. Absolutely. That's something I will do. 99.9% of problems I can take care of, but if not, Stephanie Cook is the assistant dean of everything math and science and business. If I'm not available for some reason, which I don't see why I wouldn't be available, I'm teaching all summer, or if there's something that I can't solve myself between you and I would go to Stephanie, just to get my boss's final opinion. So this is the weekly breakdown. This is the last page on the syllabus, and then we'll be done with the syllabus. This is probably the one thing that you don't have to print the whole syllabus out. The one thing you really need is, real quick, sorry to do this, but to go all the way back to the first page, the thing I have highlighted in yellow, you're going to need that for my math lab, the Schaller 41773. And then this page. This page gives you the weekly breakdown. Notice all these are in Eastern Standard Time because that's where SCF is in Bradenton, Florida. But it shows you that all week long, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Sections 2.1 to 2.5 in my math lab, and they'll be due every Friday at midnight. So this is Monday through Thursday, but I put all these due Friday at midnight. Same thing here. These are all week 2. They're going to be due Friday, May 22nd at midnight. These are all week 3 assignments. They'll be due Friday the 29th at midnight. You can see when the midterm exam is going to hit. Right, it opens on the 4th, it closes on the 5th at midnight, or the minute before midnight. I guess I tried to avoid confusion there. Final exam, similar situation. It opens on Thursday the 18th at noon, closes at midnight on that Friday the 19th. And then final course grades are due at noon on Monday. So this is a nice weekly breakdown, but you can also see this in my math lab, which we'll get to in hopefully a couple minutes here. So that's the syllabus. I'm going to go back to the home page here. Make sure you just read through the syllabus. I mean, at this point, if you sat through all my mumble jumble there, you've got it all and then some. One thing you need to do is take the syllabus quiz. It's due on the 18th. And I just made that so that, again, I know you're not a robot. I know you are active in the course. You didn't just sign up for this course 7 weeks ago and then forgot about it. I need to know that you're actually going to be serious in this course. It is not for a grade. It is just basically a practice quiz. Again, it's just more like attendance at this point. You take the quiz and then I can say, okay, they're active in the course. I can't withdraw them. If you fail to take this quiz and you do not register for my math lab, I can remove you from the course for doing nothing, right? You're non-active. So at least take this quiz once. I don't care what score you get. The only reason I put a time limit on it is because I've had people open it and never finish it, and then 5 weeks into the course it says they're still taking the quiz from week 1. So I've wised up. I've put a time limit on it. But you get 2 attempts. It's only 3 questions. They're true/false questions. It's simple. Just do it, get it out of the way, click done, and then I know you're active in the course and I can't withdraw you. The orientation video that you're currently watching right now will obviously be right here under orientation. Solutions, I'll post solutions to the midterm exam. You'll actually get answers off of my math lab for the solutions. So solutions will be more for if you guys have questions on certain problems or things like that, I'll type up solutions and I'll place them under the solutions tab if I need it. This might not even be needed because my math lab is where we're going to be doing all the work. So with that said, let's go ahead and got my other screen here. Pull that over. Before I get to that, let's go to my math lab. This is probably the easiest way to get to my math lab. Just Google it. So two ways to do this. If you already have a My Math Lab account, you're just going to sign in. And as soon as you sign in under your My Math Lab account with your login and your password, because you've probably taken a course with My Math Lab before, so you technically have an account, just go ahead and sign in. And then somewhere at the top right, you're going to see Enroll in New Course. And that's the way you're going to get into my section. So when you click on Enroll in New Course, that's when you'll put in that Schaller, 41773. If you've never used My Math Lab before, which is, I'm going to assume like, oh, hey, I've never even tried to use My Math Lab, then you're going to go to the My Lab, now it's called My Lab Math. It's a Pearson product. Pearson is the publisher. You're going to go to Register Now as a student. And these are the three things that you need. You're going to need your email address. Again, please use your SCF email address because there is a feature in this software that allows you to email me. And if you use your personal email address, like a Gmail address, and then within the software you click on the, oh, I want to email my instructor a question. When it emails that to me, it emails me the question with a reply to your personal email, and I cannot respond to that. So it'll just be crickets. You will not get a response. Again, and IT and all of SCF has been very, very diligent about this stuff, especially with all the hackers and malware and phishing. We are absolutely not allowed to respond to any outside emails unless it's your official student SCF email. So if you don't use your student SCF email, do not expect a response. The course ID that you need, that's the Schaller 41773. That's the one that's highlighted yellow on the syllabus. That tells the software that you want my course, basically. And then you need an access code. There are a couple ways you can get the access code. One, you can purchase it in the bookstore, which, technically you can just go on SCF's website and go to the bookstore on the website and purchase it electronically. Or you can buy it right here, right now on the website. That's probably the best way to do it. If you want to use your financial aid, then you have to purchase it through SCF, through the bookstore. If you don't want to use financial aid, but you'd like to save a couple bucks, I think it's a couple bucks cheaper if you just use your credit card right on the website. Again, don't quote me on all this. I'm just going based off previous semesters. Or you can use, PayPal, obviously. I guess they have a deal with them. So when you're ready to go, hit OK, register now. And by the way, My Math Lab loves to use pop-ups. So make sure your pop-up blocker is turned off. 99% of the time, it's the pop-up blocker. Usually in week 1, I get a bunch of students that email me and say, I can't open the homework, I can't open the homework. And 99% of the time, me responding, turn off your pop-up blocker, lets them into the homework. So just fair warning there, make sure your pop-up blocker is off. Otherwise, you'll keep seeing that warning that says, we blocked a pop-up. It's part of the software. It's nothing I can fix. It's just the way they have it set up. So this is where you'll put in the Schaller 41773. Hit continue. It says MGF 1106 Summer A 2020. That's the course that we're registering for. So good. If you already have an account, just use your standard username and password and plug it in and go. If you never have used My Math Lab before, you're going to have to create an account. And this I can't do because I already have an account and I can't walk through every one of these steps, but you create your own username, your own password, security questions and stuff like that. And then when all this is done, you check all the boxes, sign your life away, and say, yes, create my account. Once you create that account, the next screen not this screen, but the very next screen after you click create account will say, okay, how did you purchase it? Do you have a code from your bookstore? Are you going to put your credit card information in and I'll give you a code and let you in the course? Or there's a third option. If you scroll down to the very bottom, usually there's a little blue link. See how this is in blue and it highlights as a link when you scroll over it? On the next screen, there's usually a little link at the bottom of the screen that says, I would like to try a 2-week free trial. Click on that. If you haven't gotten your paycheck or you're waiting for your financial aid to clear or something like that, at least click on that free trial and get in there. Get in there and get at least a little bit of work done. See if you like the course. See if you like the way it's laid out. See if you're going to be okay with watching those videos and doing all that homework. It's a very fast-paced course, so at least get through week 1 and 2, or even maybe just week 1 and say, hey, you know what, this is not for me, I'm out. Or get through week 1 and go, okay, I can do this, let me purchase it and let me get through this course. So you can always try that free trial first to get you in, and it will remind you after about 2 weeks, or well, after about like a week and a half, maybe when you have like 5 or 6 days left, it'll say, hey, just a reminder, you never bought this, we're gonna close your access soon, and then it'll prompt you to put in your credit card information and purchase the software. So that'll get you in if you've never been in. So that said, I am already logged in. You're not going to see all these courses. These are all the different summer courses that I have set up ready to go. I have more courses than that actually, but not all of them use my math lab. So when you click on the MGF 1106 Summer A 2020 course, you'll probably see a different home screen. It'll give you like a breakdown of your assignments, how much percentage you have done and stuff like that. But I just want to walk you through the important things that you have here. Most important is the assignments tab on the left. That's where you find all the homework and all the exams. So on here, you're going to see a midterm exam and a final exam pop up. I haven't created them yet. I'm gonna tweak them obviously and upload them, closer to the due dates. But you'll see that these are all the sections that we cover throughout the course, and they all have specific due dates. You can see that these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections are due at the end of the first week. If you're watching this video early, obviously you can get started early. I set the course up so that you can register for it right now. If you're one of those people that decides, hey, I registered late and I don't feel like doing any work, and then the 15th rolls around and you go, oh wow, I forgot to do any of my homework, maybe I'll do it tomorrow on the 16th, you can still do these. They're still going to be open. You just get that 25% late penalty. These will never close. None of these sections will ever close. And look at them. They're all open. I mean, if you wanted to do section 12.3 today, you could do it today. You probably won't understand it, but you could do it today. So that's the most important thing, is the assignments. Grade book, you can just keep track of your grade. The e-text gives you access to the physical textbook. Wish I had the textbook with me. Obviously you don't need the physical textbook, but it comes with an electronic version of the textbook, which you can click on, and then you can go to whichever section you want and actually look at some examples and look at the exercises and stuff like that. Mostly you're probably not going to use the textbook very much. Mostly what you'll be using is the videos. The lecture videos is probably what you'll be using. Let's see how quick this loads. But I mean, this is literally, yeah, there you go. It's literally page for page the physical textbook. So you do not have to buy a physical textbook. Just get the code. Get the My Lab Math Access code. This is page for page, literally the textbook. If I want to go to page 250 in the textbook, I can type 250 right here, and it literally takes me to the physical page 250 in the actual textbook. And then you can scroll through pages, just like this was like an Amazon Kindle or whatever. It's just like a book. It's literally a book just on your computer screen. So there are good examples in here that you can actually follow. That looks weird when I highlight it, but there are actual examples in here that you can follow, and that's one way of getting some extra help. Or you can get to the chapters that you need through the chapter contents there. The main thing I want to say besides assignments, which is where you're going to be doing all your work, is the multimedia library is where you can access the videos directly. So let's say, the first section we look at is 2.1. So I go to chapter 2, section 2.1. I'm looking at the big screen. I should be looking at my laptop here. And then we go to video. So here are the video lectures that we can watch. So when I click on these, objective videos, notice the timestamps here. Like this one is 4 minutes and 58 seconds. This one is 5 minutes and 10 seconds. And if you look at the set concepts down here, this set concepts video that's 10 minutes and 36 seconds long, this is both of these objective videos combined. The objective videos are slices of the main video. So the main video is always on the bottom. You may have a video that has like 7 objectives. So you'll see 7 of these objective videos, and then at the very bottom you'll see the full video, which will probably be like, I don't know, maybe at that point it might be like 30 minutes long or something. So if you click on that video, it will pull up, and sometimes it's PowerPoint, sometimes it's someone working a problem out in front of a whiteboard, but it works you through all the concepts. So you can go through and look at all the video lectures, and basically, again, we're not in a physical classroom, so this is your, basically your classroom. Put some headphones on, watch through the videos. If there's something that you don't get, pause it, rewind it, watch it again. If that still doesn't click, you can go to the e-text, you can go to the textbook and look at some examples. If that doesn't click, even within the homework, there are some really powerful tools. Some people will say, oh, why am I spending $100 just to do homework? Well, you got to see all the bells and whistles that this thing has. There's a reason this software costs so much. So if we go to assignments, click on 2.1, and let's say I'm just going to pick a random question, 11. I'm going to pick question 11. I don't know why. Don't ask. 11 is a good prime number, so I clicked on it. So when you go to a question like this, again, watch the videos first before you try and do all the problems. Otherwise, you're putting the cart in front of the horse. You're trying to do the math before you even learn the math. That's kind of weird. That'd be like your English teacher telling you to write a 500-page essay on the first day of class using, some sort of concept you haven't even covered yet. Write about Shakespeare before you read about Shakespeare. That doesn't work. You need to read Shakespeare before you write about Shakespeare. So please watch the videos first. But if you get stuck, these are the great tools that you have at your disposal. So there is a tool called Help Me Solve This, which literally solves your question for you. You'll see it put a red X there. It's basically said you can't do this problem anymore because I'm going to walk you through it. I'm literally going to do your problem for you step by step by step. And you can see you hit continue, continue, continue. Sometimes it asks you to type some things in, and it asks you to kind of work it out in smaller chunks. But when you close this problem, you can see some of the things changed here, right? The question changed a little bit because it did your problem for you. So when you're done, it'll say, okay, here's a new one. It randomly generates a very similar problem and says, okay, now you've got the concept. I walked you through it. You try it. It's a little different, but you try it. So that's one way of doing it. If you have no idea how to do the problem, that's a good way to go about figuring out how to do the problem. If you're halfway through the problem, or you're close to the answer, but something's not clicking, and you don't want to just throw away all the work that you've done, you're almost there, click on View an Example. It'll give you something a little bit different. I can't really move that over too much, but it'll give you something a little bit different. See how this is 6% and 17%? Meanwhile, in our problem, it's 6% and 12%. Right, and the towns might be different, right? So it's tweaking things a little bit. It's saying, okay, here's a slightly different problem. Let's do this problem, and then you just relay those concepts back to your problem. So I can go through and work through this problem, and it walks me through step by step by step, tells me what the answers are, and then I can say, okay, cool, now I think I get the concept, close it. It didn't change my original problem. I still can keep the old work that I had. Maybe I was, 60, 70% the way towards the solution. It doesn't throw that all in the trash. I can go back to where I left off and then just continue to finish the problem. So those are the two most powerful tools that students like. There's also a direct link to the textbook here. So this is in Chapter 2 from Section 2.1. This looks like question or exercise number 39 right out of the textbook. So when an instructor makes assignments right out of the textbook, they say do all the odd problems. Number 39 is one of the odd problems. This looks almost exactly like number 39 right out of the textbook. So you can see exactly where you are and what you're doing based on those numbers. Chapter 2, Section 1, number 39 in the textbook. So that's a really helpful way of knowing exactly where you are and what concept you need to be working on. There's also, see, not every problem has this, and I wish they went through and worked on this. This is maybe my one big gripe here. Sometimes the problem has a direct link to the video, and it takes you right to that concept in the video. So you click on that. I want to go to the lecture video, and it sends you right to the video and starts playing the video that talks about this concept. This is one of those questions that just doesn't have it. Why, I don't know. I wish they all did. But again, you can go and say, okay, I need to go watch the video for 2.1. It's in there somewhere. It's in Chapter 2, Section 1. That's the video I should go watch to figure out what this concept is talking about. There's also this, Ask My Instructor. If you try the problem, 4 or 5 times and you still can't get it, don't be afraid to click on that Ask My Instructor. But again, make sure you have your SCF email in there. Otherwise, you will not get a response. So that's a nice way to do it. You can also print the question out. There's no point in printing it out. I'm not going to grade it. If you print it out, the software is what's going to give you the grade. So if you print this and then work on everything all printed out, I don't get to see that. So there's no grade. So make sure you're putting your answer in here somewhere. And I'm gonna click on a random one of these. It's probably not none of these, I'm assuming. Yeah. So I'm gonna click on none of these, and notice it says, "Hey, you're incorrect." And then you say, you know what? Maybe take another guess. I'm hoping it's not Newark, but let's see if it's Newark. It's not. Good. Okay. So I still got it incorrect. Notice it says similar question. It just reloads the question. It's still the same question. Yeah, maybe the numbers are a little bit different. You might actually get lucky and get the exact same question. But the cities are different and the numbers are different. So now it's basically saying, hey, try this again. And I can check my answer and maybe I can hit, okay, maybe it's this one. You know what? I think I'm gonna say that one. Look, I got it right. And I did nothing. I have no idea what this concept is. Okay. I'm glad I got it right there, because what I want to show you is there are some questions that are multiple choice. There are some questions that are true or false. Some questions are just a blank box, and you have to put the actual number in. Now, there are an infinite number of numbers, so I can't just guess twice and get it right. But this is one of those ones where I can just kind of guess and get it right. Cool, look at me. Next question. Now, you can always go back to the previous question, and even though I got it right, I can still hit similar question. It is of no benefit to just guess to get a couple points. In the grand scheme of things, this is not going to help you pass, because when it comes time to take the midterm exam and the final exam, which are big portions of your final grade, it's not going to help you to just guess, right? Not every question is going to be guess and check. You'll see that as you get through some of these, you can save your best score. So it doesn't matter that I went back and tried it again. I kept my score that I kept. But you can go back and work on the concept. And as you work through some of these, you can see multiple choice, multiple choice, multiple choice, yes or no, true or false, right? Obviously, that first section is kind of lenient. As you get into some of the further sections and some of the further concepts, let's say we go to section 3.1, again, just clicking on a random question here. We'll see what we get. Oh, here we go. It's asking me to write in the symbolic form. I have to put the answer in. There are no choices, right? The choice is whatever I decide to put in. So you can see things like this, and obviously, we haven't covered this concept yet. This is just an orientation video. But when I decide to type something in, I'm just going to put P and hit check answer, and I'm going to be stubborn and check answer again, and then hit final check. It tells me the correct answer, even though I was stubborn and just kept the same answer. Again, notice you can go to the next question, but then why would you go to the next question and leave this one wrong? Just hit similar question. Right? Obviously, you haven't fully understood the concept. There's something more you need to grasp. Go ahead, go back and try and grasp that concept. And again, you can go to question help and you can get some resources, or you can go watch the video lecture for 3.1. Go get some help, figure out what's going on, and then try and get the question correct. You have an infinite number of attempts on every question. There is no reason that anyone should get less than a 100% on the homework. All of these sections, as long as you're doing them by these due dates that you see in the left column, you can get 100% on simply by doing them over and over and over again until you get them correct. You have an unlimited number of attempts, an infinite number of attempts on every homework question. And this is what's 300 points of your grade out of the total 800, whereas the other 500 points are coming half from the midterm, half from the final exam. So you've got 300 of the 800 points, that's almost half your grade, is coming from this stuff, where you have an unlimited chance of getting 100%. That's the way I wanted to set it up, is so that it's not about the grade, it's about understanding the material. That's, as a mathematician, that's all I want. I just want people to appreciate and comprehend the material. If you're one of those students that is just striving for a letter grade or striving for a number, like I need to get a 98, I need to get a 98, how many can I get wrong and still get a 98? Then you're not doing math. All you're doing is hunting for a number, and that's not how you get an A. The way to get an A is to practice a little bit every day, a little at a time, right? It's just like learning a language. That's what math is. Math is a language. You don't just want to ignore it for a week and then try and do 6 hours of math on Sunday. That's not how you learn math, right? That's not how you learn Spanish. That's not how you learn French. That's not how you learn Chinese. You don't learn a language by ignoring it for a week straight and then going, oh, I'll speak French for 4 hours straight and then I'll know French. That's not how it works. You have to use it all day, every day, little by little, and then it just grows and grows and grows. It's like building a muscle, right? You go to the gym for 20 minutes a day, you're going to be pretty healthy. If you put the gym off for a month and then say, oh, I need to be healthy, I'll just go to the gym for 24 hours straight. After that first hour, you're going to collapse because your body can't do it. Same thing with your brain, right? Your brain can't do it. If you try and tell your brain to do 8 hours of math on a Sunday, your brain's just going to say, not happening. Sorry. And you can't change that. You can't fight that. Your brain's just going to say no, and it's just going to shut down. So try and do a little bit each day. If you can spend 45 minutes to an hour each day a week, just set that time aside. And it doesn't have to be every day. But if you don't do math on a Monday, just know you got to double up on a Tuesday. If you don't do math on a Monday or a Tuesday, Wednesday's going to suck. And if you don't do math Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, your Thursday is ruined. It's absolutely ruined. And it just gets progressively worse and worse. It snowballs. The more you put it off, the worse it gets. So pretty much done as far as the video is concerned. I hope I didn't go too long here. Let's see if I can find a timestamp. Well, I can't. It's on there somewhere. It's on the other screen, so I can't really see it. Make sure that you are, prepared to understand these concepts at a very, I don't want to say very lightning fast pace, but at a very fast pace. It's a full 16-week course just crammed into 6 weeks. And the harder part is it's an online course So the online course means it's only going to go a little bit tougher because you don't get to have that instructor feedback face to face. Whereas in a classroom, if I lecture and say something and write it on the board, you can immediately go, Mr. Schaller, I don't understand what you just did. Where'd you get that number 5 from? And I can turn around and go, oh, yeah, I got the 5 from here. Da, da, da. It's instant feedback, right? It's that back and forth. We don't get that because it's an online class, so it's a little bit tougher, simply because we don't have that instant feedback. So keep that in mind. Again, try that free trial, that 2-week free trial for the My Math Lab. Get in there, get some work done. Don't wait till the end of the week. Don't wait till week 2 to figure out if you like it and if you can handle it. Because by the time we get to week 2, we're a third of the way through the material. This is a very, very painfully fast course. I mean, I say painfully fast because it almost hurts how fast we go through this material. So keep that in mind. And then those exams, you're thinking, oh, the midterm's not till June. Well, guess what? Tomorrow is June. That's how fast it feels like it creeps up. And right now you're thinking, oh, I got time. Trust me, that June is going to creep up way faster than you can even imagine. So don't procrastinate. Do a little bit each day. Get in there, at least start the free trial if you don't want to commit to spending the money. At least start the free trial and start doing section 2.1, 2.2. See if you can get to 2.3 and then start thinking about, all right, can I stomach this? Can I do this for 6 weeks straight? If you get to 2.3, 2.4 by Friday, you're in good shape, but you still have to get to 2.5 by midnight on Friday. If you're one of those people that starts Friday on 2.1, oh boy, you're going to feel that burn. You're going to feel it real quick. And you will not last 6 weeks if you're the type of person that's going to try and do everything on a Friday before midnight. So, keep that in mind. I'm not trying to scare you away, but I'm just trying to be very realistic. Other than that, like I said, these are weird times with the whole social distancing and the quarantine, and I hope everyone is happy and healthy and safe. You know, life comes first. Make sure your life is 100% ready to go and in order, and then worry about math. I will always be here. Next semester, next year, probably a decade from now, I will still be teaching this class. Just know that if this isn't the time to take this class, get out now. Get your life situated, stay happy, stay healthy, make sure you and your loved ones are okay, and then think about math later. But if you're one of those people that's really dedicated, and I commend you for taking a math course online during these times, if you're one of those people that's willing to stick with this, communication is key. Let me know ahead of time. If there's something in the way of you taking the midterm, don't wait till after the midterm because then there's nothing I can do. If you contact me before the midterm, we might be able to come to an agreement and work something out. Simple things like that. Just, communicate with me and stay on top of everything, and you should be successful. But like I said, and I'll end with this statement, this is going to be very fast, and you're going to need to be very diligent about staying on top of your work. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, with that, I will leave you and say go take the syllabus quiz, get that out of the way, go register for my math lab, get in there, start fiddling around. You can't break anything, press all the buttons, do all the things, but get into 2.1 and start doing some assignments. Watch the first video lecture, take the first couple assignments or the first couple problems from 2.1, work through them and see how it feels. If it feels awkward and you don't like it, you're better off taking this class face to face. If it feels like it's something you can do and you can get through the course, then stick with it. And I think you can. It's not a very difficult course as far as the material is concerned. It's just a lot to do in 6 weeks. So keep that in mind. Otherwise, like I said, stay happy, stay healthy. I am your instructor, Robert Schaller, and email me if you have any questions. Otherwise, adieu.